I don't hear you, Rabbi. If you hear me, I don't hear you. Rabbi, I don't hear you. Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Thank you. So, um, so this is the mimer. Uh, this is the mimer that the Rebbe said in his room. We had several mimerim. After Topshin on the Shmini Atzeres, the Rebbe suffered the heart condition. It was a miracle, really a miracle that right away, it was a massive, we heard from the doctors later on. It was a massive situation with the Rebbe. And yet, right away, Zamotzi Simchas Torah, the Rebbe from his room gave the mimer, and we were all standing downstairs in 770 in the main shul, and the Rebbe gave the mimer. So this was the first mimer after the incident, and then later on they published this mimer. This was Moshe Simchas Torah, and then later on they published this mimer right before Shabbos Breishis, Mוצאי Shabbos Kodesh over there. I'm following that. Okay, so let's do this inside now. B'siyata d'shmaya, Mוצאי Shabbos, Mוצאי Simchas Torah בחדרו, ה'תשלח lamed ches. All right. So the Rebbe starts off with the להבין ענין Simchas Torah to understand what is the idea of Simchas Torah. I'm explaining the idea of Simchas Torah. So the Rebbe said, what is the issue with Simchas Torah? If we know the Torah, the Pasuk says, is the wisdom, the understanding of the Jewish people, all the nations of the world, when they see Torah, they see how unique and special the Yidden are. So it would almost make sense we should be learning Torah versus dancing with a closed Torah. The fact that we dance with a Torah and we also dance with the scroll, which is Torah Shebiksav. The halacha is that the written Torah, if you say Torah Shebiksav, even if you don't know what you're saying, you're still Mekayim a mitzvah, and you make a birchas HaTorah, you make the blessing for it. As opposed to Torah Shebal Peh, you have to understand what you're saying. So, since Torah is an idea of Chochmaschem and Binaschem, why do we do dance with a Sefer Torah? We dance with it when it's closed, and we see that all kinds of people are attracted to the dancing, to the Torah, not even learned people. General people all join in the festivities, the joy with the Simchas Torah. Also, that's one issue. Another issue is how come Simchas Torah was set up to finish the Torah on Shmini Atzeres? It would seem maybe we should do Simchas Torah more on Shavuos. When the Torah was given, we should make a celebration of Simchas Torah. Why do we finish and we make the Torah, the Simcha? Why do we do it on Shmini Atzeres? So it's known the question about Simchas Torah. Masha oifun hasimcha de Simchas Torah. What is the way we rejoice with the Torah? Shaloichim Sefer Torah. We take a Torah, the Sefer Torah. Kifi shehikrucho mechusa b'mapa, as it is wrapped and it's covered in a cloth. Umeragdim imo, and we dance with this. So we're dancing with a Torah covered and wrapped in a cloth. That's the way we do the Simcha. The question is, the im hayoy Torah kasiv, even though that with Torah it's written. Ki chochmaschem uvinaschem goimer, that the Torah is your wisdom, your understanding in front of the nation. So Torah is an idea. of intellect, it's an idea of seichel. So mikomo came, and yet, oifen simcha zu, what is the way we rejoice, we are happy? Simchas Torah, who loy al yidei limud ve'iyun, it's not through studying and not through intently looking into ideas, ki'im al yidei rikud dafkir, specifically through dancing. We dance with the Torah. Because we do this, that we rejoice by dancing with the Torah, that allows for us to include all people. If we would give a big pilpul drasha on Simchas Torah, then only those that can understand would be part of it. But on Simchas Torah, we want everybody to be part of it. And that's why, because we do it through dancing, shalochein, for this reason, hasimcha, the Simchas Torah, Yetzel Kol Yisrael. The simcha, the joy of Simchas Torah is by all Yidden. Gam Eitzel Pshutim B'Yosef. Even very simple people, she'ein shayochim lahasoga v'avona, that have no connection to understanding, to grasping things, and yet they rejoice as well. Why? Because the simcha is not through study. The simcha is through dancing with the Torah. Not only does it attract or encompass also people that are not learned, but actually encompasses such people that, a whole year don't even have a connection to the Torah. The Yisayda Mizu, and even more than just encompassing Yidden that are not learned, it also Simcha there.
Yeah, I'm here. I just you just cut off.
No, I didn't cut off. It's the
internet. Yeah.
cut off by itself. I don't know what happened. Okay, anyways.
Mhm.
I think we're back in business here. Let me just check here. Okay, yeah. So we see that during the Rikud Nagunim Shochim, you attract Gam Ko'ele, also such people, Shebishar Yemois Hashono, that during the rest of the year, other times of the year, Ein Niker HaKesher, you can't tell the connection, V'ha'is Agdus and Shalahem, and their union in Minyan HaTorah, with matters of Torah, K'moy Sheroim B'muchash, as we see vividly, that during Simchas Torah, you have everybody dancing and everybody rejoicing. These are people that don't have, throughout the year, don't have a connection to Torah. It's all because we dance with the Torah. So now, and there's an additional point over here, the fact that we dance with a Sefer Torah. I don't know, it's some literature yeshivas, shuls, they dance with a Gemara. Over here, we dance with a Sefer Torah. Sefer Torah is Torah Shebiksab. So that emphasizes the point, it's not about study. Because Torah Shebiksab is valid even if you don't understand, it's still the mitzvah of learning Torah. The Indians and this idea, Shasimcha, the Simchas Torah, B'chol Echad MiYisrael. This idea that this Simcha applies, goes to everybody, by every one of the Yidden, Mizbate Gam Bozeh. This also expresses itself in the fact, Shemeragdim im Sefer Torah. How do we dance? We dance with a Sefer Torah. We don't dance with a Gemara. We dance with a Sefer Torah, which is Torah Shebiksav Davke. It's a Torah Shebiksav. That points to the fact that everybody is connected to it. Because Torah Shebiksav is connected to everyone. Shafilu Zeh Shelo Yoda Maiko Omar. Even one who doesn't know what he is saying words. Mevorech birchas haTorah k'shekoyre b'Torah shebiksav. He will make a blessing for the Torah. Shebachar bonu mikolam nosalon es Torah. He'll make the birchas haTorah when you're reading Torah shebiksav. Umikivon shezeh ma shemevorech birchas haTorah. Since, why is he making the birchas haTorah? Is the Torah says, he apitzivui Torah semes. The true Torah says, make a bracha, meaning that he is received the Torah, it's his Torah, and he's making a bracha for it. And that means that everybody, whoever is reading it, even without understanding. If he makes a bracha, that means it's obvious. This is the fact that every Yid, even if he doesn't know what he's talking about, he's just saying the words, is learning, is Makayim the mitzvah, he receives the Torah from Hashem. Shegam zeh shelo yoda mai omar. So that even this one who doesn't know what he's saying, mamshich Ein Sof, he brings down the Ein Sof. Ve'ad atzmus umehus, not just Ein Sof, but also to the extent brings down the atzim umehus, the noisen HaTorah, the one who gives the Torah, Hashem himself, the Atzim Hashem, beHaTorah shaloimed, in the Torah that you learning, you're bringing down the giver of the Torah, Atzmus umehus. So this is one point about Simchas Torah, the idea that it's not about learning, it's not about understanding, but it's basically just about dancing with a closed Torah, with a Torah shebiksav, in a way that belongs to everybody, and a lot of different people are attracted to it. And also, the other question is, Gam Yodua Hadiyuk Lo Ma'osim Simchas Torah B'Shmini Atzeres. Why do we make Simchas Torah on Shmini Atzeres? Or B'chutz La'aretz B'Yom Tov Sheni D'Shmini Atzeres. Outside of Eretz Yisrael, we make Simchas Torah on the second day of Shmini Atzeres, the Yom Tov Sheni Shel Golius that we have to make Simchas Torah. Why make it then? The L'chayra HaYotzorich Liyos B'Chag HaShavuos. Seemingly, this should have been on the festival of Shavuos, Zman Matan Teresenu, the time of the giving of the Torah. So why do we have Simchas Torah and Shmini Atzeres? Okay. So these are the two questions the Rebbe, or the two ideas the Rebbe presented. First of all, that Simchas Torah is with the written Torah covered up. Everybody dances with it. It's not the idea of study of Torah. And the other idea, why do we make Simchas Torah on Shmini Atzeres or Simchas Torah Yom Sheni Shel Golius? Why not on Shavuos? So the Rebbe brings down now from a Medrash. It seems like that the Medrash says, just like Shavuos is 49 days after Pesach, Shavuos is called Atzeres. That's the Atzeres of Pesach. So it's 49 days. Shmini Atzeres is also Atzeres, but it's the 8th day. So the Medrash says that really Shavuot, Shmini Atzeres was also supposed to be 49 days later. But Hashem doesn't want to trouble the people to go back and then back again. So the people who were in Eretz Yisrael, were by the Yerushalayim, Oil of the Regel, they were already there. To have them go back, everybody was there ready for Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, and then Sukkot. And at that point, the Eibishter says, let's make Atzeres, that holiday, let's make it right away. That's why we have Shmini Atzeres. And the Rebbe will explain that's the time of unity, time of Echad. That's why it takes place over there. Let's look inside in the Medrash. So the explanation, and this is brought down Alpi Madi Isa b'Medrash, based on what we find in the Medrash. Reuya hoisa ha'atzeres shel chag. It would be proper for the atzeres of Sukkot, Atzeres Shel Chag means the Atzeres of the Chag of Sukkot. Instead of being Shmini Atzeres, Shetehei Rechoiko, 50 Yom, it should be 50 days apart from Sukkot, from the Chag. Keneged, that would correspond to Atzeres Shel Pesach. Shavuos is 50 days. We count 49 days, and the 50th day is Shavuos. So to correspond, the Atzeres of Pesach, the Atzeres of Sukkot should also be 50 days later. But there's a problem because now it's the winter. So now to send everybody home and make them come back 50 days later for Shavuos is not practical. As opposed to Pesach over there, it's summertime, so it's okay. Elo, Atzeres Shel Chag, when we talk about the Atzeres of the Chag, the Shavuos, Alidei Shehem Yotzim, the Chag meaning Sukkos. The Atzeres of Chag we can't make because they're Yotzim in Hakayitz L'choyre. Because we're going out from the summer to the winter. Leis b'yomayehu the Yizlum v'yesh. There's not enough days to go, the Yizlum to go, v'yesh to come back. There's not enough time after Sukkot, 50 days to go home and come back. Moshul lemo hadover doima. What could this be example to? Lemelech shehoyu loy bonois harbe. A king who had many daughters. Mehen nesuis lemokim korev. Some of them were married to men that lived nearby, in a place nearby. Umehen, and some of the daughters nesuis lemokim rochik, they were married to men that live far away. Yoim echad bo kulon lishoil shaloim hamelech aviyam. So one day, all of the daughters, the far ones, the close ones, they all came to ask how their father, the king, is doing. They came to greet, they came to see how the father was doing. So now, Amar HaMelech, says the king. And that represents Sukkot, when everybody, Shonim Kippur, Sukkot, everybody comes to the king. So the king says, Eilu shenesu is b'mokim korev. Those who are married, they live close by. Is be'oinosum l'meizul l'meisa. So there is enough time for them to go and to come back. But ve'elin shenesu is b'mokim rochik. Those who are married far away, leis be'oinosum l'meizul l'meisa. They don't have the time to go and come back. So what do? So the Eibishter says, okay. The king says, Ad de inun kulon etzli, hacha. See, while they all are by me over here, navid kulon chad yom tov. Let us make all one yom tov. V'nachdi imon, and let me rejoice with them. So everybody's here already, and there's not enough time to go and come. So while they're all here, let me make a simcha, let me make a yom tov. Kach. So what's the parable? Atzeres Shel Pesach, when we're talking about Shavuos, Atzeres Shel Pesach, so that is Adi'inu Nafkin Mechorev Lekayitz, because then we're leaving the winter, we're going to the summer. Omar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so Hashem said, Is beyoyma l'meisa l'meisa. There's enough time in the day to go and come. Avol Atzeres Shel Chag. But the Atzeres of Sukkot, since now we're leaving from the summer to the winter, Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, says Hashem, Leis beyoyma l'meisa l'meisa. There's not enough time there's not enough days to go and come. Ela adi inun hochia, while they're here, navid kulon chad yom tov. Let us make one yom tov and let us rejoice. That's why we made Shmini Atzeres right after Sukkot. Everybody's here already. We can't go and come back 50 days later. We can't do that. It's not the same, so we're going to do it right now. That's Shmini Atzeres. V'zeu ma she'oisin simchas Torah b'shmini atzeres. And this is the reason why we make simchas Torah and shmini atzeres. Because which is ki hayoim echad. The pasuk says one day they all came. Which is the yom echad that all the daughters came to the king? Ka yom echad sheboy bo kol abonis. On one day in which all daughters came. Now what does it mean, all daughters? Because in the pasuk, sometimes we talk about benois Tzion and benois Yerushalayim. These are different levels, spiritual levels. Daughters of Zion and Jerusalem, Zion, Tzion, and Yerushalayim. That's all the bonis. Hainu, Neshamas Yisrael. That's a reference. The daughters of Tzion and Yerushalayim is the Jewish soul. And they all came, Lishol Shloim HaMelech Avian. They all came to greet and see how their father is doing on that one day. Koy al Yom Kippurim. That refers to Yom Kippur. Everybody, all the neshamas came together on Yom Kippur. And then the king, the Eibishter, says, Navid kulon chad yom v'nechdi. Let us make one holiday and let us celebrate. Hu simchas Torah. That is simchas Torah. He says, let's make one Yom Tov, which correspond to that Yom Echad Yom Kippurim, which is simchas Torah. Sheniku Shemini Atzeres. Shehu chad Yom Tov. Let's make chad Yom Tov. Let's make one Yom Tov, a Yom Tov of one. The dogmas are Yom Echad Yom Kippurim. This is similar to Yom Echad Yom Kippurim. The Yom Kippur is unique because it's a Yom Echad. Achas Bashona, it's a one day. Yom Kippur is one day. Sukkot is 7 days. But Yom Kippur is one day. This is a one day to correspond from the day that they came to visit the king. The king says, let's make one day that will correspond to that one day. So basically, he brought the mashal of the Medrash that Yom Tov is made Simchas Torah on Shmini Atzeres because it's the winter. But in the mashal, the Eibishter said, we're all together here on Yom Kippur, the Neshamas Yisrael, the Bnei Tzion. Let's celebrate and let's make one Yom Tov. So what is this idea of this one and one? And the Rebbe explains now in Ois Gimel that we find this idea of unity of one, Sayin Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot. And therefore we make this Chad Yom Gimel. Will understand this based on what we explained earlier in the Maimer of Basukos Teshu. That year, the Rebbe gave a Maimer in Basukos Teshu, and the Rebbe explains this based on that Maimer, the idea of this Echad. So there it says, Shekol hamoyadim de chodesh Tishrei, all of the Yom Tovim of the month of Tishrei, heim bebchinas shel achas. They're all in the level of one. And the Rebbe is going to go through. First, Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is one, because Rosh Hashanah really has one mitzvah. That's blowing of the shofar. Other Yom Tovim has more things to do. This is one mitzvah. Hinei, they're all one. Hinei al Rosh Hashanah, Razal, about Rosh Hashanah, our sages of blessed memory said, mitzvahs hayoim b'shofar. What's the mitzvah of the day? Shofar, one mitzvah. Hainu. What does it mean there's one mitzvah? It's a mitzvah also, we got to keep Yom Tov, right? It's like a regular Yom Tov, all the dinim of Yom Tov. Why do we say one mitzvah? It has more mitzvahs. You have to enjoy Yom Tov, you can't do work on Yom Tov. But one unique mitzvah. How many mitzvahs? Sukkot, for example, has sukkah, has esrig. This has one mitzvah. What is the mitzvah? Pesach has Yitzias Mitzrayim, has Sipur Yitzias Mitzrayim, it has Matzah. There's more things. There's different things on Pesach. But Rosh Hashanah has one mitzvah unique besides being a Yom Tov. That's what it says. Hainu dezeh ma'shayoim de Rosh Hashanah hu choluk mishar hamoyadim. What makes it different than the other festival? Hu b'mitzvah achas is one mitzvah. The Rebbe says in Yiddish, ein un einzige mitzvah, a one and only mitzvah. That is the idea of oneness. Mitzvah shefer. The mitzvah shefer. Hu b'mitzvah zu. And in this mitzvah, Gufa, Koisva Rambam, the Rambam writes, it's just a mitzvah, meaning it's just a command, and there's no lot of explanation. The Rambam himself said, Koisva Rambam. The Rambam writes about this mitzvah, it's decreed by the verse, it's beyond any reason. The Hagam Shah mitzvah de shofar. Gam meramezes al inyonim, hachi nailim be'inyan hatshuva. It doesn't mean that shofar has no meaning, no rationalization. The mitzvah of shofar also hints on very high aspect in tshuva. So there is great hints in the mitzvah. As the Rambam continues, remez yesh bedover. There is a hint in the mitzvahs of shofar. So it does represent, but on the simple level, what is the idea? It's a decree, the pasuk decreed, which is above reason. That's idea of being one. So that's Rosh Hashanah. So Rosh Hashanah is the idea of one mitzvah. Same thing is Yom Kippur. Yom HaKippurim is one day a year. It's in the Beis HaMikdash, and it's by the Kohen Gadol, the one of everything. Similar is also with regards to Yom Kippur, which is Siyum HaAseres Yom Sheben Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippurim, the conclusion of the 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So you have, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, we're not talking about the middle day, we're talking about Rosh Hashanah and the end of Rosh Hashanah, the end day, which is Yom Kippur. It's also on the level of one. The Chol HaGimel B'chinas the Olam Shana Nefesh. In all three categories of the world, it's one in the world, which means in the Kodesh HaKadoshim, in the Shana, in the year Yom Kippur, Nefesh by the Kohen Gadol. Sha'avoida HaMiyuchedes the Yom HaKippurim, that the special service of Yom Kippur, first of all in place, he b'Kodesh HaKadoshim, that's in the Holy of Holies, which is B'chinas Achaz the Olam, that's the level of one of the world, Mokim. It is B'Yom the Yom HaKippurim, on the day of Yom Kippur, that's the Zman, Shenikra B'Shem Achaz Bashana, that's referred to called the one day a year, so it's one in place and one in time. B'chinas Achaz the Shana, that's a level of one in the year Zman. And then V'Nasis, who does the service in the Kodesh HaKadoshim on the one day of the year, are the Kohen Gadol. And the Kohen Gadol is the one who was chosen. But Elosha Kohen Gadol, Shluchim Shel Kol Yisrael, he does it as an agent of all the Yidden. It's not that the Kohen Gadol does for himself, but he's one representing all the Yidden. The Ksiv Bey, and the Kohen Gadol says, "Vayavdil Arein lahagdishay kodesh kodoshim," that he separated him to make him holy of holy. Is a bechinas achas the nefesh. That's one of the soul. So we see Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur are both the level of one. Same thing is with regards to Sukkos. We have the levels of unity expressed in the various different levels of Sukkah. First of all, we got the Sukkah. The Sukkah starts in the beginning, goes through the entire Sukkah. So over there we see the level of unity, because all Yidden can sit in one Sukkah. Shebe'inyan HaSukkah, when you talk about the aspect of Sukkah in the Yom Tov Sukkos, Shemitzvahs Yeshiva B'Sukkah B'Meshach Kol Shivas Yemei HaSukkos. That's a mitzvah which is all. If you want to talk about the one mitzvah that encompasses all of Sukkot, that's the mitzvah of Sukkah. Lulav, that's different only certain times. Merega harishon shebitchaloson, from the first moment of the beginning, in the Sukkah mudgesh inyan ha'achdus. Over there, it's emphasized the idea of achdus b'chinas achas. We have the level of achas, the whole Yisrael of all united. K'mayim Razal, as the sages of blessed memory say, Ruin kol Yisrael leisha b'sukkah achas. All Yidden are fit to sit in one sukkah. That's the level of achdus. Ukmekein hugam, and likewise it's also b'mitzvahs netilas dalet minim, when we take the four species. So over there too, in taking the four species, it's not an independent, it's continuing the sukkah, the achas of the sukkah, she'inyonuhu lahamshich hamakiv, the sukkah achas b'pnimius. The idea of the mitzvah of these four species is to be mamshich, the makiv b'pnimius. So when you take a look at the minim of the sukkah, each one represents Agdus. In each one of these four species, you can tell it's emphasized the idea of Agdus. Especially with the Esrig. The Esrig especially represents unity. Why? Over there, it's emphasized the unity even more. Shalochein Beseder, and Esrig is unique. That's why in Beseder Adalet Minim Shebekosu, when the Pasuk gives you the order, tells you first take the Esrig. Shegam Seder B'Teira, even the order of Teira is Teira, means it's a lesson to it. Ha'ascholi Esrig Pri Eitz Hodor. We start, the Teira says, L'kachtam Lechem B'Yom Rishon Pri Eitz Hodor. That's the Esrig. So what is the Esrig? Ze mashen esreg nikra bekosu b'shem pri eitz hodor. Why do we call it a pri eitz hodor? The word hodor means that it lives ulifi shador bi'ilonim mishana l'shana, because it lives on its tree from year to year. Most fruit, when it comes the winter, comes the other season, they fall off the tree, but not so the esreg. So that means it's a level of unity. It tolerates the change of the four various different years, the summer, the winter, the spring, the fall, that are during the year. Says Esrig stays. It's a union. It unites everything. Not only does it unite, but it grows from them. Not only does it tolerate Elohu Godel man, that it grows from them. So you see in the Esrig, the very first one of the four species, the idea of unity over there, that it grows in all seasons and from all seasons. And from this level of unity of Esrig, nimshech gam ze b'shar hagimul minim. This extends to the other three species. Shalochein, and that's why the main thing is the Esrig. We learn all shalochein ha'inyan the hodor shebegimul aminim, that all other three species have to be also hodor. They have to be beautiful. We learn it me'esrei because it comes all from the esrei. So that means that all the minim have unity because they all take from the esrei. But that each one of the four species points to the level of unity. The lulav they grow, the aravas they grow. There's different places it brings down. They're all achdus. But what is the hina mitzvah besides them? Each one representing achdus. Ha mitzvah benetilas dalet minim. What is the mitzvah of taking the four species? Hila achdos called dalet minim, to unite all the four species. Shemoidim al dalet sugim shebibnei Yisrael. The four species point to the four categories in the Jewish people, the learned, the mitzvahs, as they explained in the Medrash, should all make one group, to do Hashem's will, believe of Shalom, with a complete heart. All Yidden together, represented by the taking all four species together, each one of the species, especially the Esrog, the mitzvah of Sukkah, it's all Agdus, and that's why that's the time to celebrate when the Yidden come to sell Yom Kippur. So from Yom Kippur, later to bring down from Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot, to bring it down in Shmini Atzeres. Okay, we'll leave it over
Okay.
here. We'll be Mamshel.
See you later. Bye.